Hello everyone, I am Ben the Bold, you are you, and welcome back to another episode of our very tall Sicily campaign. As you can see, here up north in southern Gaul, we are locked in a bitter and bloody war with several large tribes. And as you can see, our Greek soldiers, our Greek hoplites of our loyal allies are really suffering a lot of casualties and are fighting hard for the betterment of Sicily. However, we need something, because while we do still hold a lot of territory, we do still have the war goal in our, or the war score in our favor. The tide of the war has begun to turn, and in fact you can kind of tell that they are not going quietly into this. They are, however, almost out of manpower, but I could expect to see a ton of mercenaries in their future. After all, they do have plenty of money. So, now the question is, how do we deal with this? How do we handle this? Our primary strategy of late has been to use mercenaries to do our bidding for us. However, we are starting to run out of mercenaries. We had two really large mercenary armies come in and really do really well. We took a lot of land. We had our feudatories join in as well. That all helped. But as you can see, we have started suffering some defeats. And in fact, our loyal Sicilian mercenaries have kind of fallen in defeat. We're able to hire Turid's mercenaries down here, but they have not recovered enough morale for us to use them yet. So instead, we have decided to turn our fleet elsewhere. Our fleet is just kind of going around the Mediterranean trying to pick up mercenaries at this point. Currently, it is heading south towards Carthage. It's going to pick up some mercenaries, hopefully along the Carthaginian coast. I believe I saw some of them here. And then it's going to swing by, I think by then, these mercenaries, they only have like, what, 57 men to recover, and then we should be able to hire them again. So I will try to swing by, pick up some mercenaries in Carthage, pick up some mercenaries here, and I think I'm going to move them to Massalia, try to relieve some of the pressure over here on our Emporian allies, try to go ahead and knock this country out of the war. To do that, we will have to take two of their fortresses, though. Regardless, let us go ahead and unpause and see what we can do. Where is our navy? Our navy's here. Let's, Oh, and to make things worse, in 18 months, we are going to see a rebellion. So several of our tributaries might actually rebel. I'm not super worried about that. One, I think our feudataries will be able to handle most of that. But two, don't worry, we will be fine as far as our tributaries go. I would love to go ahead and peace out of this war. I would even take a white peace, but unfortunately, they won't take a white peace. They understand that they are making gains. They understand that they won the last major battle. Although if we could just win a major battle, maybe even take their capital, we would be in good shape. Unfortunately, because there is no war goal here, I don't necessarily know if we're ever going to get that white peace, automatic white peace enforcement. We're going to let these 22,000 mercenaries just kind of recover their morale, and then we will move them northward to fight only when they are ready. Until then, we're going to keep them in hopefully relative safety. Where's our fleet? Have they made it very far? No, they're still heading down towards the Carthaginian coast. Let's go ahead and look at the mercenaries we can hire down in Carthage. So in Cubrus we have 20,000 men. Their weekly maintenance is, or their monthly maintenance is going to be 11 ducats per month. These guys I am very interested in taking again. That would put our weekly, if we took both of them, we would start to be losing monthly, but I think I'm going to have to do it. Just going to go ahead and hit the recruit button there. So those 20,000 troops are ours. I'm going to go ahead and come down here, pick them up. We'll land them in Syracuse. I might... No, I want to keep my soldiers in Syracuse just because of the imminent rebellions that we will inevitably face. I'm going to try stabbing the pig just to get some more stability. If I can maybe get enough stability to keep this rebellion from firing, that would be useful. Unfortunately, I'm just going to have to keep waiting. Oh, looks like I can send some troops to Macedon. Or send a character to Macedon. Is this, by any chance... Alright, so this is a coastal fort, but it's not in a port. So unfortunately, I can't use my megapoliremes to deal with it. Alright, I'm just going to have to keep waiting. They are almost at full morale. But I think it's better to wait until they are a full army and then try to deal with some of these stacks individually, although they outnumber us at this point by so much that it's going to be fairly tough. It's alright, we have a plan, we're going to stick to it. We're going to take a lot of attrition with these elephants. But maybe the elephants is just what we need. In fact, we are going to take so much attrition, maybe it's best to not necessarily... Sorry, my computer has decided it's going to just be really laggy today. I don't know what's going on. I am exporting a video in the background, so I guess that's slowing me down a little bit. Either way, I might actually decide to bring all of my new mercenaries up here, because they are going to take a ton of attrition on these forts. Plus, I have allies willing to help me here. Even though I have a feeling soon Emporion is going to feel the wrath of all of these troops coming down. Are you... Your planes. Gosh, I need to find some defensive territory. Even just right there is hills. Oh well. Let's take you to Syracuse. Let's go ahead and hire you. That is, unfortunately, I think going to put us in the red. Yep, we're losing 5 gold per month. I'm okay with that for now. We have plenty of gold. I am going to go ahead... Oops, I meant to actually accept that trade offer. I figured maybe now is the time to accept some trade offers. Okay, this could be big. We have a new omen power. I think I'm just going to have to go with national tax rate up or morale of armies up. I'll go with morale of armies. That should hopefully help me take on some of the lower tech, hopefully lower morale. Well, definitely lower morale because they're lower tech armies here. They're going to move 20,000 men in. Unfortunately, I might just have to leave these 5,000 men to their fate. It would be a close-ish battle if they were to attack us in Emporium itself. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get there in time. The games have concluded. That's okay. We did not win, but I don't think I've ever won. We're losing money. I guess we probably should have gone with that national tax rate up. It's okay. If we had to, and I mean had to, we could turn down our fleet maintenance a little bit. Let's go ahead and load all of our mercenaries in Syracuse onto ships. And let's take them halfway across the Mediterranean. Land them in Emporium. You can see some of our allies are deciding to abandon us. They can see the writing on the wall. But right now it says that we would win this fight. This would be huge if we could win. No, don't attack them. Good. Wait till the rest of the mercenaries come in. We are 10 months away. We are less than a year away from... That's very helpful, having some extra gold. We are less than a year away of having to fight a rebellion. If we could defeat them... In fact, we're at a point where I might think about just moving these 2 mercenary armies to Corsica so that they can help retake the island of Sardinia. Or we could just consider Sardinia a loss for now and come and take it again at a later time and focus on expanding our feudatories in Gaul. Of course, also in this, Messapahi seems to also be willing to revolt against Syracusan rule, or Sicilian rule. I'm going to go ahead and send my troops to attack here. I'm going to go ahead and send them all. Let's try to break out of Emporium. They're going to send their men as well. This should be an easy fight, although we will have to see. Maybe not, as they have 38,000 men ready and willing to come in to their aid. If we can win this battle in a hurry, we might actually do it. We did! No, wait. Yes, that was a victory in Rhode. Wonderful. We only lost about 1,200 men. They lost almost 5,000. And now I think as the defender, we might be able to win this fight. What happened there? Alright, so this is going to be a bloodbath of a fight, but if we can... Oh wait, this is only against 2 forwards. There we go. This is going to be a bloodbath of a fight. If we can win this, though, it's going to be huge in helping us break out. Their battle line seems to be caving in. We are losing men left and right as well. Their morale is dipping down, dipping down. We're going to win this. Yes. What a victory. Well, it hadn't happened yet, but it will soon. And what a victory. We are taking a lot more men. We are losing a lot more men than they are at this point, but what a win. What a victory. We definitely needed this. As we still have plenty of heavy infantry on the field. They, unfortunately, do not. Well, fortunately for us, they do not. Their lighter infantry is going to fall, and indeed, their battle line has collapsed. And we have won. We have just... And also, you are going to gain the trait Discipline. That's cool. And now we are going to continue our push to the north. Oh, man, even with some of these just incredibly diminished cohorts. I didn't realize we were going to fight 15,000 men here. It still says we're going to win. Their battle line has collapsed to our archers. Yeah, so it seems like they can't hold up with the just huge amount of archers we have. And their battle line will collapse, and we will take yet another Sicilian victory. War score is ticking back towards our favor. And we almost are about to land 40,000 more troops here. Again, though, this is what is alarming with a rebellion breaking out in just 6 months. Oh well, we will fight whatever wars we have to fight. We are, after all, the very tall Sicilians. Looks like Rhode is going to just auto-siege back to us. Let's go ahead and move these 43,000 troops a little bit closer to the front. Wait. Why can I not move them via online? Oh. I can't move. It highlighted the Navy, not the Army. If there's one thing I've learned, we have to keep attacking while we can. In fact, maybe I should just go ahead and give chase to their armies completely. Don't let them recover anywhere. Who are you? Alright, so you're just a tributary or vassal or something. Let's move into here. Is that a city? Yeah, let's go ahead and just try to siege down this city. Let's take any slaves that we can while we can. Let's keep all our armies together so that they can reinforce each other if needed. 3 months from now, we will suffer a rebellion. Can't be helped. Maybe our feudatories will be able to deal with it. I'd rather them focus on any rebellions that we have. Gods of War, so we can lose 15 political influence, get morale of armies up by 5%, cohort speed, supply limit up by 5%. I think I'm going to do that one. At least we still have a lot of manpower because we're focusing on mercenaries so much. I think to save me a little bit of money, I am going to stop drilling this army. Now, it's been incredibly useful because I needed to tick up that military experience to hire more mercenaries. But I think right now it's important to save as much money as I can. Especially because I don't know how my economy will be affected once my tributes inevitably give up on me. They kind of seem to be constantly losing faith in me. I'm going to go ahead and move all of these armies upwards, including this army, even though it is sieging, because hopefully the Emporians will continue that siege. Hopefully, if we're lucky, they will just be tired of fighting. They're running out of men. They seem reluctant, at least at this point, to hire more mercenaries, although honestly they could have just hundreds of mercenaries and me not know about it. Although, at this point, I feel like I've hired most of the mercenaries on this side of the world. And if they were going to hire mercenaries, they would have hired this 21 stack by now. Unfortunately, a rebellion's going to happen in 2 months. And there's just not much I can do about it. We're probably going to lose Sardinia. Well, I guess we can see what we'll lose. The Brutians will join. The Messapahians will join. The Elysians will join. And the Bellari will join. That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to win. But we're focusing on gaining the victories that we can. We will deal with any rebellion when it happens, and I think it has finally happened. Let's go ahead and move this army to here and move this army up. I guess at the very least I could take this 94 ships, move them to the straight crossing between Corsica and Sardinia, just to make sure that none of the Corsican armies will be able to siege down none of the Sardinian armies will be able to siege down Corsica. I'm assuming Corsica will go with me in this fight. And it has happened. Messapahi has declared war against us. So have the two Sardinian countries. They have 19 cohorts of archers, 24. So, I mean, we do outnumber them. We should be able to take care of them, especially with all of our feudatories joining us. But still, it is unfortunate. However, I think I'm going to try to add a lot of Messapahian lands to any vassal states that I have. As well as probably do that on Sardinia as well. They were very useful as tributaries, but I want someone who will actually start converting some of those pops. In the meantime, with the 3 mercenary armies that I have, am going to continue to focus on beating down the, what are you called again? The Saluvanians. I'm going to go ahead and transfer some... Give some land to the Emporians. They deserved it at this point. Oops, I keep hitting that button. And honestly, if I could just give Emporium that land, I think I'd probably be happy with this war. So they'll take that as a peace treaty. You know what? That actually seems pretty good to me. With the rebellion that we are facing, being able to gain some territory for my... How much more for that one? Just one more. No, I don't think it's worth risking it. We, I think, are going to go ahead and take that. I don't want to give Emporium too much land anyway, because they're going to struggle to maintain it for at least a little while. So let's go ahead, let Emporium start the culture converting process. And in the meantime, we've helped out an ally quite a bit in the region. I wish I could have given some land to Massalia as well, but that's just going to have to be left for another time. In the meantime, Emporium is going to be nice and strong. Hopefully they will start to convert some of these pops. And we will focus on taking our mercenaries and moving them to Sardinia. Meanwhile, let's check out how our troops are doing. The feudataries are, unfortunately, seems to have lost in Corsica. I'm going to go ahead and just continue moving those 94 ships in there. I'm going to move these 24,000 men to Messana. I think we will be able to handle the Messapahians without even having to give any of our own troops to that fight. This is going to be the hard fought. I think Messapahi will fall. They are actually the war leader. If I did a white peace with them, are they still going to be my tributaries? I don't know. Looks like we could get a friend. Yeah, I'll be a friend with you. After all, they did help me in my last war, even though I did not do so much to help them, so I might as well be friends with the Massalian leader. I wish that I was able to grow some of the influence of Massalia in the region. I might once again look towards declaring war on the Iguanians at a later time, with the idea of hopefully turning them into a basically just a feeding frenzy for the Massalians. Give Massalia all of this land. What I want is to have at least one, maybe two really strong feudataries up here to kind of hem in Rome's northern expansion, because eventually Rome and I will end up in conflict. That I am sure of, mostly because I really want Magna Graecia and Rome really wants the rest of Magna Graecia. So if I can hem them in from two sides, force them to fight a two-front war, it's just all the better for me. I think I'm going to go ahead and just split this navy in half and move half of it to pick up some troops in Rhodes. We are still losing money. That I'm not too worried about. Let's see how our troops are faring down in Messapia, I mean. We did get a victory. They are training 14,000 men. Interesting. I still think our feudataries will be able to take care of the Massanans. They don't seem to be able to make it past these forts. We did get an oratory advancement. That's going to help our civilization. Oh, also mercenary army maintenance down by 10%. Yes, please. Unfortunately, I don't want to take that yet. Well, let's see. How much is an invention nowadays? An invention is just an even $100. I'll go ahead and do that. Where was that invention? Mercenary army maintenance down 10%. Perfect. I run with a lot of mercs. Ooh, and some aggressive expansion. Those will all be helpful. I'll wait until after the war is over for that. That helps me out tremendously with my money issues. Wow. So in this huge army that was at one point 26,000 men, I only have 400 and something. Wow. Let's go ahead and take them. Alright, these 17,000, that'll work. I might go ahead and just disband them. Move these 30,000 troops to here. Let's see how our allies are doing. Oh yes, they are seeming to handle the Messapians really well. Messapahi maybe should not have instigated this rebellion. I do actually blame them for all of my troubles, which is why I will be dismantling them and giving them to one of our loyal feudataries that helped take them down. I just see that as right and fair. Meanwhile, I see the exact same I have the exact same feeling that that's what I'm going to do with the island of Corsica, or of Sardinia. I always say the wrong one. I know that this is Corsica, this is Sardinia. I studied some geography at one point. Although if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. Let's go ahead and move these troops across this quick little strait. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm paying for those 9,000 troops. By golly, I'm going to come up and get those 9,000 troops over here. Yeah, I'm down to have more friends. More friends is good. Alright, I'm a little worried. They are just swarming with armies down here in Sardinia. Yeah, utterly swarming with armies down in Sardinia. A little worried about that. How many cohorts do you have? The thing is, they don't have access to any mercenaries because if they bought some mercenaries, those mercenaries would be black flagged. They can't then sail their mercenaries back over to Corsica and Sardinia. So as long as we keep this war going, they will slowly just run out of manpower. Because after all, let's take a look at their manpower recovery speed. You 139 per month. You 112 per month. Meanwhile, I over here am getting 506 per month, and that's just me, not including my mercenaries. Meanwhile, the Messapahians continue to look like they regret starting this war. And maybe I should think about getting an invention after all. I am going to wait. I'm going to wait. No reason to hurry up and do it. Part of me wants to go ahead and pull part of this army back, because right now they're taking a lot of attrition. There's no real reason for them to. But no. Yep. Let's just pull them back. Just because we can replenish our losses faster doesn't mean we should take unnecessary losses. They have huge armies. I don't want to deal with the attrition. I'm going to separate these two so that they don't take as much attrition. Place these 10,000 men onto some ships. Move these ships over to Corsica. Just prepare for the inevitable invasion, because it will come. Especially if I can get some feudatory support. I'll tell you what, these two conflicts that we fought, they have been hard fought. The Saluvians, I did not think I was going to win this fight. I just thought I needed to figure out any way I could to piece out of it. Going around the Mediterranean and picking up whatever ragtag band of mercenaries that I could find really does seem to be the what did me a lot of good and really allowed me to take just a little bit of territory off of them. But every little bit, first of all, every little bit counts. And second, just my tributary, or excuse me, my feudatory is going to slowly convert this into my culture and slowly grow my prominence in the region. They should be extremely loyal to me right now. Yeah, 200%. Mostly because I improved some relations, but also because, well, we gave them a bunch of land, we are fighting together, we're the same religion, same culture. Looks like we have a civic advancement, population capacity goes up, perfect. National commerce income goes up, that's good. Ooh, wrong culture happiness up 2%, and would you take a look at that, pop assimilation speed up 10%, that's going to help me assimilate a lot more pops of the slaves that I take when I inevitably cast and crush the Sardinians, because I do plan on crushing them. Is it worth me going over and getting these last 6,000 mercenaries? You know what? I do think it is. I definitely don't want to attack across the strait into an army of 20,000 waiting Sardinians, Balerian troops just waiting to jump me at any chance I get. But they also cannot come forward. Looks like, what does Messapahi want? So they are saying that they will liberate now. Decline. Does that mean their capital fort's fallen? Yes, it has. That means they are fallen. Can I piece them out separately? So I can make them a tributary. It would just affect them, not the Sardinians. Except that's not what I want. I don't want to make them a tributary. They had their chance to be a tributary, and they ruined it. So they are instead going to be split up among the Metapotunums. They will gain the northern... they'll get all three of these. I'll give them a port. And the rest of the Messapahian land will go to the Tarentums, including this grand city of Minturia. Unfortunately, there's not much that the Messapahians can do to stop me at this point. So instead, all of my attention is officially going to be focused towards Sicily or Sardinia. And we are going to... I mean, I wanted Messapahi to be a feudatory anyway. Of course, they had to be a different culture. But this is just going to help me out just that little bit more. Going to give me some more troops in the region. And really, that's what I'm going to need for when I do inevitably go to war with Rome. The Sardinian nut is still going to be a tough one to crack, as they are going to pile all 71,000 of their men up in this province. Of course, that may or may not work out for them, because the more men... Well, looks like the Regiums are going to be, you know, a little foolish, just dumb enough to invade. But, yeah, they're going to be sent packing. And go ahead and move these 9,000 men to Corsica, and now we're going to have just a ton of mercenaries just ready to go in Corsica, although it may be some time before we can actually make that crossing. Although I do want to finish out the Messapahians in this episode, let's go ahead and give their land, continue to give it to the Tarenturms. And now as far as... No. There we go. Yeah, so this would give... They're not going to take that deal. Not yet, at least, but they should soon. We'll just keep waiting then. Alright, they don't seem to have any men. I'm going to drop off... You know what? I'm actually going to take these 9,000 men, go right there. I'm going to use this navy as eyes. If this army, if the Hipponian army can make a beachhead, I will go ahead and move all of my mercenaries. Nope. Never mind. Not going to do it. They were playing a careful... They were laying a trap. Don't necessarily want to get stuck in that trap. Although the Hipponian forces are doing a number on them. I could think about moving this mercenary army into the port city. No, not yet at least. I'm going to go ahead and just land them in Corsica. And instead focus my attention on completely ending the Messapahians. They will take this. They are going to be distributed amongst my feudataries. We have won a great victory in the south. Although, now that I think about it, that's actually going to cause us to go to peace with you all. And that is going to mean that you are no longer my tributaries. Okay, well... And as soon as that truce is over, we are going to have to jump back into Sicily and try to retake, or try to jump back into Sardinia and retake that land. I didn't think, I forgot that Messapahi was the war leader, and so I can't just separate piece them out. Either way, I'm actually not super upset about how this went. I'm going to be able to get rid of a bunch of the mercenaries, save me some money, start racketing in some money again, and then... having extra land dedicated to feudataries instead of tributes, while it means a little bit less money, I think in the end that is going to be just fine and probably better, because I want as much of Magna Graecia to be feudataries as possible, because this is where my real defense comes in. My one defense against the Romans, but also if I was naval invaded, having all of them be able to just pour their troops into Sicily would be very helpful. So I want to have a strong Magna Graecia. A strong feudatory-heavy Magna Graecia. I do think that this is where I'm going to have to cut the episode for today. I hope you all are having a great day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit that like button. Also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Why not? And I will be sure to catch you on the next one.